See the way they hate, and I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning. 179 of the Lots Project morning show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's March 16th, 2026. This morning, I'm enjoying a fresh cup of GSD blend from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10. That's LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club for even more awesome perks, and check out that new website redesign that they got going on over at foodforestfarms.com. It's looking good. Good job, guys. Thanks. Today we've got another packed show, another cabin project checked off the list. Give an update there and what's going on out at the property. My take on terrorism and false flags, Tennessee's wild spring weather showing up right on schedule, and whatever else pops up along the way. So grab your coffee, smash that like button, and let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, Pip. Good morning to you also, and Mike's Homestead, morning to you there. How did the weather fare over in your neck of the woods, Tennessee? Not bad here, not bad here. I'll get into it a little bit more later, but we're still, camper's still upright. That's always a good thing. I don't think we had many, many tornadoes here real close, but I did see some stuff about some tornadoes in Tennessee in general. Martinson family stopping in, appreciate it. Good morning to you, and hope you're doing well up there in the Great White North. Guys, it's been a week. It's been a week for sure. I didn't get a whole lot of computer side stuff done. Corey was off for the majority of the week. I think she was off Wednesday through yesterday, so we got to spend a lot of time together, do a lot of things, get a lot of work done on the property. So I got to enjoy that, and I don't think I don't know if I turned my computer on from Tuesday evening through last night when I fired things up, set up the show. So it was good. It was good. A lot of outside time, a lot of spending time with Corey, and that's what I enjoy doing. That's why I married her. So anyway, let's let's get rolling on the Bitcoin guessing game for the week. Bitcoin guessing game for the week. If you don't know what that is, every week everybody throws in a guess on what the price of Bitcoin will be on Monday morning during the show. That would be right now 6:05-ish on Monday mornings. Over in the Telegram group, you just give your guess. You reply to the weekly post that I pin up for the guessing game. You guess what the price is going to be. I record them and we talk about them on the show. This morning, 6:06, I guess we missed it by a minute. 6:06, price of Bitcoin here. You can see over my shoulder if you're watching the video. $73,406 Bitcoin price on March 16th, 2026 at 6:06 a.m. Let's go to the guesses. Guesses over from the Telegram group. We'll start at the bottom, work our way up to the top, and then I'll reveal the winner at the end. Bottom of the barrel guess this week, Chris Dixon guessed 64,897, 64,000, just a little low. That probably been a better guess last week. Pip in at $66,795.44. Thanks for being so specific, Pip. I don't even get the sub dollar price on my tracker. Blueberry, Texas, in with a 68,000 even. Scrambling, the Food Forest Farms scrambling 69,500. Thesia in with a guess 71,500. Canadian Farmstead 75,000. That was close. Good job, Canadian Farmstead. Close again. He was the winner last week. And John Palmer in with a 76,543. I did skip my guess because guess what, guys? I actually won this week. I actually won my own contest. I think I've been doing this now for a couple months, and I don't know if I've actually won, but this week in with the guess is 72,654, under $1,000 off. It's me. Congratulations to me. I win nothing. I'll send myself out nothing. Yay. Good job. Good job on the guesses, everybody else. Canadian Farmstead in again, close. That guy's getting good at this. So if you would like to participate and throw your guess in for the Bitcoin price next week, that would be March, I think it's 23rd. I can never do dates in my head. Yeah, March 23rd. March 23rd, 2026. If you want to guess what the price is, head on over to the Telegram group at t.me/lotschat. That's t.me/lotschat. A little bit after the show, there'll be a pin post up there. If you've never used Telegram, basically it's a bar at the top. It says pinned message number. It'll probably be pinned message number 16-ish. 16, 17, somewhere around there. But anyway, you click on that and then just reply with your guess of what the price is going to be, and we will see how close everybody is next week. So, yay, I don't have to congratulate anybody or send out any non-prizes. So, let's see. Bitcoin price jumped a little bit this week. Excuse me, guys. Having a little issues this morning. Like I said, no technology for a while. Only my phone, and getting back in the swing of things on the computer and getting everything open and rolling. Bitcoin did a little bit this week. We're up in over 70 now. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Always good when it's going up. Would love to see it. Would love to see a rocket shot back up over the 100,000 mark, but I don't know if that's gonna happen this week. My guess for next week, what's it gonna do this week? Are we gonna level out around here? I think. You know what? I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride with my guess for next week. Maybe I can double up 2 weeks in a row. I don't think we're going to see much action this week on the Bitcoin front. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we jump up, but I'm going to stick with my price up here on the board, 72,654. That's going to be lock that in for next week, guys. We will see what happens 1 week from now on the show. Like I said, if you want to guess, head on over to t.me/lotschat. If you're not using Telegram, I think it's a great app. We have a really good time over in the Telegram chat. About 70 people in the room, a good solid couple dozen that really participate on a daily basis, and we talk about everything. Joke around about things, sarcastic things, useful, knowledgeable things, skills, what everybody's getting done, what everybody's doing, and always a good meme or two posted on the daily. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Thanks for stopping in. Canadian Farmstead is one of those big participants over in the Telegram chat. And second place winner this week. First place last week and second place this week. Second place this week in the guessing game. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the first topic on my list today was cabin work we got done this week. Like I mentioned in the opening there, Corey was off for the majority of the week. She took a little vacation. And so she got done on Tuesday night, and we were able to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We didn't end up getting to work all those days or actually working all those days. We had some weather constraints. We had some things we had to do. Started out Wednesday. We went and got material. We were, if you remember last week, if you listened last week, we were working on our deck. We had gotten enough material to get basically the bones of it up, the 4x4 posts. We got the frame up. I think we hung the joists. We had the joists hung at that point. We had to end up. We still had to go get material for the deck boards for the top, and then also to build the stairs, to cut stringers for the stairs and the deck boards for the stairs, and some other miscellaneous stuff. I think gravel for making a pad for the landing pad for the steps. So we had some trips to the hardware store to make. I think last week was when I talked about the trailer we bought. So we bought an 18-foot trailer to get materials. Now, this would have been perfect because we were getting 10-foot deck boards, we were getting 10-foot 2x12s, and they don't fit real well in the bed of our pickup truck. But we got thinking, if we got the lumber on the trailer and got it to the property, for about the last 3 months, there's been a big pile of chert. If you don't know what chert is, it's basically driveway gravel down here. From what I hear, it's the biggest state export of Tennessee. Basically, they dig it out of the ground everywhere and use it for driveway cover. We had been having some used to build our driveway, to re-top our driveway. And we had one load come in when the guy that was doing the work was kind of done for the day. And so he had him just dump it at the top of the driveway. Well, weather got shitty, things got busy, whatever, here, there, and the other thing. And our guy just hasn't been able to get out there to do any work. And so the pile of chert, so dump truck load full, is right at the end of the driveway. Basically enough room with the trees we had left in and kind of how we want to set up to pull the pickup truck up there and basically turn it around. Kind of not quite Austin Powers back and forth in a little tiny space, but definitely a K turn to turn it around and get back and turned around and head down the hill, heading the right direction. And our driveway is pretty steep, so I mean, you definitely could back down it, but I much prefer driving down it forward. But the issue is with the 18-foot trailer behind, we couldn't update, spoiler alert, we couldn't get the trailer or the truck pulled up far enough to where we would be able to swing the trailer into a turnaround spot and turn around. I'm not in the business of backing the trailer up that hill. The guy that does the driveway work, actually, I saw him back a nice long trailer up that hill when he helped us move the scaffolding back there. Just not my deal. I don't back up enough trailers to be comfortable doing that. Maybe at some point. Hopefully at some point I could do that no problem without even thinking about it, but just not in my wheelhouse right now. So Corey and I went back and forth, like, do we try to skim the edge of the pile and get enough room to back it up? Will we be able to crank the truck wheels enough and blah, 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 the whole thing? Well, we settled on, we can throw the 10-footers in the back of the truck and they can hang out the tailgate and leave the topper window open and just take them up that way. It wasn't a whole lot of material. I think it was like 40 deck boards and 4 or 5 2x12s and a couple of 4x4s. It sounds like a lot of pieces, but with the thickness of the deck boards and everything, it was about half the opening of the topper window. So not a ton, enough though that it probably would have been nice to have the trailer, but it wasn't worth the hassle of trying to figure out how to turn the trailer around up at the top. So Corey and I ran in the morning and got that all from the lumber store and headed to the property. We were supposed to get some pretty nasty weather on Wednesday, so we were trying to beat the weather, get to the lumber store, get to the property, get it unloaded before it unleashed. And we were watching the radar kind of the whole time, and there was huge storm coming, and we were like, okay, we're gonna make it. And so Wednesday is our normal grocery night, and we're like, well, do we want to give a reference where we stay right now, where we get groceries, and the property we're building, the cabin, are kind of like an equilateral triangle. And we were trying to figure out if we wanted to go home and then back to groceries, or just go unload the material and then go back to get groceries and then go home. And we didn't want the dogs in the big storm. If the storm was going to roll in, they get nervous. I think that we had left some of the windows open for them because it was going to be warmer. And so we decided to come home to beat the storm. We got the material unloaded. We came home, beat the storm, and then we waited. and we waited and we waited, and then it rained for like 10 minutes and then nothing else. So big old nothing burger on the storm warning. It kind of dissipated. It had come through Memphis and it was hot and heavy, and it just dissipated by the time it got to us. So we felt disappointed. We sat there, waited around all afternoon. We could have got more work done at the property. We could have definitely gone and got groceries, and then we didn't. So we just kind of spent the day hanging out the rest of the day with the dogs and waiting for the weather to come. Thursday we got rolling. We ended up getting the deck boards on the deck. Got a lot done. Ended up getting groceries on Thursday night instead of Wednesday afternoon when it would have been done. We would have been able to stay out the property a little longer and work on the deck. But eventually we ended up getting the whole thing done this weekend. We ended up getting deck boards on, stairs on, railing on. Went with basically a welded wire railing. Corey, so when we're planning the deck, so basically the deck we're put on the back, and now the railing and steps and things that we're putting on the other side on the back covered porch of the cabin. We've been keeping in mind that this is basically semi-permanent construction on the outside stuff. We have plans that in the future, whether that's 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever that is, we would like a larger deck than the one we built. For time and cost restraints, we put a small 8x8 deck on. I think eventually we want to go with like a 10x20 on that side. And on the covered porch side, we basically put the covered porch and stairs, where eventually we want to put some sort of deck off the covered porch to extend that living area out. So those steps and the railing we're going to put in are basically semi-temporary. So thinking about that and how to get it done quickly, we wanted to finish it enough that it's good enough for, who knows how long. Corey really likes the look of the basically, if you've seen it, it's like the cattle panel railing. So you have your railings, you have your posts, you have your top rail, and then you have like cattle panel, black cattle panel, so you can kind of see through it. But it's strong enough to hold in, as a railing for kids or dogs or whatever. But it's kind of it's almost see through. It almost blends into the background because of the black wire. We looked at the cattle panels, so there's everything from the ones they sell at the big box stores that are intentionally made for this. They're powder coated, 14 gauge steel. Some of them I was seeing it was 12 gauge steel, but because they're powder coated, because they're made specifically for this, the price is like 3 times what a regular cattle panel would be. And we didn't really want to spend that, knowing that who knows, maybe 2 years, depending on how things go. Like if we get moved into the cabin and the money's there and the time's there, we might rip the deck off in the first year and put the big one on, and it might be 20 years, and we're like, oh, this is fine for now. So we wanted it to be good enough, but not spend a ton of money if we end up ripping it off. So we kept looking a little bit. We were like, do we want to buy just a regular cattle panel and paint it, spray paint, prime it, and paint it? Do we want to leave it gray, which was kind of out of the question? We considered it for half a second, but we wanted that black look. And then we found some rolls at Lowe's of a little lighter gauge. So this is garden fencing still, but it was a little lighter gauge at 14 gauge. Nope, 16 gauge, excuse me. 16 gauge, I think is what we ended up with. But it's black PVC coated. And so we went to the store, we checked it out. It was a little lighter than we had expected. Not really expected. We knew it was going to be kind of flexible, but when we touched it, it was like, kind of in between. But thinking about how we were going to attach it and how we were going to set up the railing and what it's going to be used for, we thought it would be good enough. We got it to the place and we cut it and got it installed, and I think it's going to work great. I don't know if I'd go with that if it was permanent. Like if we were like, this is our 50-year deck here. I don't know. I might have gone with the heavier duty stuff, but this is gonna work great. I think it'll work great for temporary, and even if it ends up being quite a long temporary time, it worked well. We ended up going with a roll and then just rolled it out around the whole outside of the railing, and then put finish boards over top of it to hold it down, to secure it, to kind of firm it up a little bit, and to make it look nicer. It went well. I think it turned out well. It looks nice. The deck looks nice. I did have a lot of minor construction errors, a lot of minor carpentry errors. This was, I mean, really, this is the first freestanding deck I want to say that I've built as the lead, the quote unquote lead. I've helped a lot of people build a lot of things. I've been on a lot of crews that have built a lot of things. I've done a lot of just shit at jobs over the years. When you're a maintenance guy, when you're in the roles that I've been in as an employee, you do all sorts of shit and you learn all sorts of stuff, but it's a lot of stuff that's directed by others. I think this is actually the first deck I've built as the lead person, and then with Corey as a bunch of help that she helped. So I was happy. I was happy the way it turned out. It's really sturdy. It's nice and sturdy. Things are level. Things are, I mean, as square as I could have hoped with the way we did it, putting it on deck blocks instead of like burying and concreting in the posts. Man, we were within a quarter inch of square, over 8 foot, 8 foot both sides. So I was happy with that. It's really level. The stairs are sloping the right way. Yeah, I was ecstatic, but I did have a few, more than a few, I guess, carpentry little errors. Some of the miters and stuff just don't come together the way I want them to, and I think it'll bother me as I look at it. So that might end up getting Corey her larger deck sooner rather than later, depending on how much it drives me crazy looking at them over the years. But excited. The first one's going to be what it's going to be, and can only improve from there. So that deck is done. We wrap that up Saturday. Hunter says drainage gaps on the corners. Yeah, drainage gaps on the corners. Good morning, Hunter. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you coming in and letting me feel better about my mistakes. We wrapped that up on Saturday, and while we were out there, our driveway friend, was out doing some cleanup on the property next to us. The lady that lived there actually ended up forfeiting the property, so he was cleaning up a bunch of her stuff. And in the process decided to move her gate that she had across her driveway. So her driveway basically was an extension of the easement road. So we had an easement road that comes off the paved road, dirt road that I've talked about us fixing and him fixing and the troubles we've had with it, which is it's holding up really well. There's a few more sections that need to be fixed, but the sections that we put the money into to have him redo from the original easement road has held up great, and we're really happy with the way that's working out. So I think we have a few more sections to go, and then the whole thing will have been redone, and I think it'll be some light maintenance on that over the years. But once the sections that haven't been touched except by the original road guy get fixed right, I think we'll be doing good. But regardless, her driveway was an extension of the easement road. She put a gate across the road where her property line started, which we walked back there yesterday and definitely can see why she did, because her place was like windy back further down the road. So once people were coming in to there. Like they were on her property in there. So the gate made sense. But since she wasn't there anymore and the place is going to be for sale, he took the gate and moved it up way up by the end of the road. basically just past where the mailman comes up to drop packages, put the gate across the road and threw a chain around it. And so basically now we live in a gated community. Well, we don't live there yet. Once we move out there, we'll be in a quote unquote gated community. But with everybody, with it being a private road and all of that, and just the money we're dumping into the road, we don't need anybody back there tearing it up and things like that. So I don't really have any say in the matter. Like I said, currently I don't own any property back there, and I just work back there. So I'll let those decisions fly. And they moved it, and I'm all right with it. It doesn't bother me at all, and we'll see how it goes. But new gate at the end of the road, and a lot of progress on the cabin. So excited about that. Next project with the cabin will be coming up this weekend. I think Corey's off Friday. We will be heading out and installing our final exterior door. Have a little chiseling out and installation on the door, on the deadbolt for the door we already had, and I assume I'll have to do the same with the new one we install. So get those doors installed, and then we'll be on to metal prep, and so purlins or girts, and get them up and trim out the windows and doors, and then start getting metal on the outside. So that's exciting. That's definitely exciting. Got a couple other projects I'd like to get pounded out to there beyond the cabin build. The biochar retort is sitting there, man. The barrels are sitting there. The supplies are sitting there. I actually just need a few spare things to get that going. And then also have a little bit of a project I want to do to get some running water out there. I had a sample product shipped out, a stainless steel sink. And then I also have a spare RV pump, solar controllers, some panels, and a battery, and our rainwater catch. So I want to hook up a little running water sink out there with a solar panel, and then also use that to the camper to charge and that. So with the battery banks and everything we have, I think that'll be a nice little project set up in the shed. Get some content out of that, and have the convenience of running water sink and the battery charging. So those are on the list for the days that Corey's not out there to help me, and the stuff that's kind of stuff I don't need a hand working on. So excited to get moving on that. So anyway, that's kind of the cabin and property update. Things are starting to grow. I'm going to talk about the weather, like I said, in a little bit, but I am kind of nervous. The food forest out there, I was kind of poking around in there the last week or so, and our trees, especially the peach trees, the plum trees, and a few others have blossoms all over them. It looks really pretty down there. Pink flowers, white flowers, lots of leaves coming in on the fruit trees. But with the weather change and the storm that rolled in last night, we had a huge temperature drop. And then tonight, overnight, it's supposed to be in the low 20s. So I'm hoping that the blossoms make it through, and that we don't lose all our fruit production for the year because of this little tiny cold snap. So we will see. Now I'll talk about the weather real quick, and then on to false flags. But anyway, the weather, Tennessee weather. Mike Thompson said those trees are screwed. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It is kind of like a little microclimate in there, but 22 is pretty low. It is pretty low. And the worst part is, I look at the forecast, and it's supposed to be 80 85 or some shit again on Saturday. So last night, yesterday evening, it was like 75, 78 around. We were sitting in the camper. We were looking at the forecast, and literally with the storm front pushing in, it was supposed to drop 40 degrees. I think right now it's in the mid 30s. And it all just came through with the storms. So we are officially rolling into storm season here in Tennessee. Tornado. We had our first tornado watch and tornado warning last night. Severe thunderstorm watch and warning. High winds and all the fun stuff. But you think about a 40-degree temperature drop and the kind of the volatility that rolls through with that in a storm system. But yeah, here we go, up and down, up and down. The cold snap. next 2 days. I think we're pretty much close to the high already for today. I think it's only supposed to top up to get to 40. Mike's Homestead said at 11 p.m. hail hit us hard. Yeah, I don't know if we got hail. I passed out last night. I was tired. I went to bed, and I do recall waking up with some heavy wind and some heavy rain. I don't know if there was any hail out there. When I was poked outside before the show, it was still dark, so I haven't really seen any indication of damage. But at this point, so we talked about it last year. I think I talked about it last year on the show with the tornadoes and the fact we're in a camper. We not sure. We don't have a storm shelter. Obviously, we're in a camper and we're on rented property. The storm shelter in town doesn't. It opens and it's available. They don't take pets. And I know Corey isn't leaving without her dogs. I know that 100%. And now the cat. Do you get in a truck and you drive around and try to miss the tornado, or at some point you have worried yourself out and you come to the conclusion that it fucking is what it is? And I must be getting comfortable with that fact, because after my phone beeped with the tornado warning, I went to bed and went to sleep. I don't know what you do. Like, our camper isn't in any condition to move. It's not like when the tornado warnings come, we could go move somewhere where there isn't going to be a tornado. We don't have a storm shelter. If we went to the community shelter every time there was a tornado warning here that the tornadoes didn't come, we would spend more time at the shelter than we would in the camper this time of year. I don't know what to do. So I think at some point we just kind of desensitized to it, and it is what it is. If we get hit by a tornado, we get hit by a tornado. I don't know what else to say about that. Hunter says those winds yesterday, so strong it blew the rabbit hutch over. We didn't get that bad here, I don't think. It was rocking pretty good, but I don't know if it was high enough to knock over a rabbit hutch here. But yeah, the weather is here. I wish you were beautiful. If you know what that song from the past. But anyway, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a chilly few days for sure. Had to bring the wood tote back in for the little cubic mini wood stove. We're gonna have fires for a couple days, and then right back into what is almost air conditioner weather, depending on how humid it ends up being. So I don't know. The weather here is fucking goofy as hell, and there's just some tense times in the spring and fall with the tornadoes and things like that. We did take the opportunity though to talk about basically what kind of storm shelter we're thinking at the cabin. I like the topography where we're going to have the cabin a lot more. Pip says down here we call them hurricane parties, right? But a hurricane is going to pick your house up and throw it a couple hundred yards with you inside it, hopefully. I don't know if I'd want to ride out a hurricane in a camper either. I don't know. We talked about the storm shelter that we want to do. Even though the topography out there, the hills and whatnot, I do like kind of where we're sitting, where the cabin is, where some other infrastructure is going to be. It just seems like less of a direct tornado alley. Lots more hills and hilltops, and we sit kind of down in a little bit of a depression. So hopefully anything would kind of skip over us or take a different path when it hits the hilltops, but we'll see. We talked about the storm shelter and how we want to basically build it into the hill in front of the cabin, and have it walk in to where we're not walking down into a hole. We're actually probably just walk straight in through a door and have the shelter above us, and basically like a walkout basement, and have it big enough to where we can go in there and not worry about it, and it's not dingy, and we don't want to be in there. That hopefully it's nice, and there's a couple benches, and we can go and sit in there, or we can go and lay down and go to sleep in there and just hang out if we need to. Run some electricity over to a ventilation and actually make it comfortable, into where, it's going to be kind of shitty weather for the next overnight. Maybe let's go just crash in the shelter and see what happens. So that's kind of the idea. I think with the guys who we know with the equipment, it shouldn't be too bad to scrape that out and build a structure, and then with it built into the hill, the top isn't as it's just easier construction, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm sure that'll be pretty high on the list as we get out there, and the first couple of storms we go through out there, I'm guessing it will get bumped up on the priority list. So that's the idea with storms out there. But the weather here is just, it's getting screwy. Big temperature swings, big storms, and lots of tornadoes, I'm guessing, in the future, in the next couple of weeks, months. I don't even remember how long it lasts, but I know that we definitely get desensitized to the warnings pretty quickly, and it goes on for quite a while here in the spring. So look, something to look forward to. I don't know, spring, but with spring weather, I was telling Corey yesterday, winter was pretty rough. I had a rough winter this winter. One of the things I really suffered from, especially in Minnesota, was that seasonal depression in the winter. Low sunlight, crappy weather for weeks and weeks and months on end. Coming here, Texas was wonderful. Texas, the first year we got out of Minnesota, and I think it might have been the fact that it was the first year we got out of the drudge of Minnesota in the winter. But Texas winter was wonderful. Nice and sunny, warm, and whatnot. Tennessee winter is somewhere in between, really. It's not horrible by any means. I did have a little bit of a stressor at the beginning with my dad passing away, and then this winter was kind of rough. It was cloudy, it was gloomy. We had some cold snaps, but nothing. It wasn't as bad, I don't think, as last year. We did have the big ice storm and kind of get stuck in, but that really actually wasn't horrible. It was just kind of a mood buster all winter. It was kind of demotivated and a little depressed, but with spring coming and the flowers popping on the trees, even though my allergies are kind of blowing up a little bit, it's a sign of spring, and things are feeling up. Coming out of that winter funk, and getting really motivated to move on things. Struggled through it this winter, got some things done, but really it was a struggle, and kind of dragging yourself to do it all winter. And now the spring's here. You can feel that energizing feeling with the temperature coming up, and things starting to grow, and the flowers and whatnot popping. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a weird thing going through that winter glum, the winter depression every year, and knowing it's coming, and still trying to fight it off, and going with it. But maybe next year we'll have to work on some extra red light therapy or daylight therapy or vitamin D or something to make it a little less effective. I don't think that's the word. Anyway, let's move on. So the another thing on the list here, Iran war. Hey, how's gas prices in your area? They were great here until they decided to start dropping bombs in Iran, and I think it's up. So I think right before they started the shit, or like the day after. I don't think prices had gone up. I filled up the truck at $2.79 a gallon for 87 oxy. So your normal 87 on the pump. $2.79. And I think Corey and I saw when we went to get material on Wednesday, when we were down in the bigger town near us, a couple of gas stations were at $2.99 a gallon, and one was at like $3.01, and one was like at $2.97. The next day when we went to get groceries, all those stations were at like $3.23. So they went up like 25 cents overnight. And about 50 cents over a couple weeks here. How long has the conflict in Iran been going on? A couple weeks now. But anyway, I got thinking about it. I'm not a big fan of dropping bombs on brown people. I'm not a big fan about dropping bombs on anybody. And you know, there's shaky reasons why we're involved in this, and the conspiracy theorists and conspiracy communities that I take part in definitely have lots of opinions on why we're in this, and what the end goals are. I haven't really got into all of that. But one thing I have thought about and saw reports of, the FBI came out with the reports that sleeper cells. Then I think I talked about it right after it started, but sleeper cells are definitely a possibility. Iranian sympathizer sleeper cells in the United States could be activated because of this conflict and cause all sorts of chaos here in the United States. We've seen a couple of things. We've seen a couple shooters, I believe. And like I said, I didn't have the computer on much at all for the week, so I don't know in the last week. But I see little bits and pieces here of different things that possibly could have been related, or could have just been advantageous timing and a personal vendetta. But the FBI warning about sleeper cell attacks, and then the next one was a story about some stolen drones that miraculously high powered military drones that were stolen, and we can't find them. We don't know where they're at. And then an FBI report coming out with the likelihood of a drone attack on the west coast of the United States with from Iran. And I'm reading this and I'm like, man, what is going on? And then I saw it, I believe it, I mean, it was a meme, probably truth in there, probably maybe some made up shit, who knows? But something about Larry Silverstein. If you know who, I believe it was Larry Silverstein, whoever the gentleman that took the insurance policy out on the World Trade Center and decided not to go have breakfast on the morning of the attacks. That guy now owns the U.S. Bank Center in Los Angeles. So there was all the conspiracy theory stuff flying. Pip says, I think the drones were stolen in later November, now just admitting it. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But anyway, all of it coming in just makes my my lizard brain, my conspiracy brain was lighting up like, oh my God, and it was from the first report of sleeper cells. All I could think of was 9/11. 9/11 was an inside job. But all the truthers, all the theories, all the things that have come out over the years about who knew what and what was planned and the whole thing, I felt like we were being fed the narrative of terrorists attacking, when actually that it might be our own doing. And it made me laugh. And the thing that, that is what it is. If you're in circles with conspiracy theorists, like it's just a given that we assume the worst. But it kind of made me laugh that, Iran literally could be planning a huge, there hasn't been so there was Pearl Harbor, there was 9/11. Those were the attacks on U.S. soil that you remember. And Pearl Harbor was on an island only halfway here. So not a whole lot of major attacks on the United States. So Iran literally could figure out how to get drones and bombs or sleeper cells here and activate them and cause all sorts of terror. They could literally become, bless you, Corey, literally become one of the countries that you talk about that attacked the United States on their own soil. Huge planning. Like, I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but it could. And there's a large population of the United States that would be like, yeah, our own fucking government did it. They could go through the motions and make this happen and not even get credit for it, because there's so many people that distrust the government that they'd be like, oh, it's a false flag. It's the government planned it. The government did it. And Iran wouldn't even get the credit due. So hopefully Iran sees all of this and says, well, we don't need to do this. And then for sure we would know that it was the Orange Man that made the call to do whatever dastardly deeds end up coming down the hill. But man, could you imagine being over there? You're in Iran, you're in the strategic defense planning area, and they're talking and they're like, we're gonna fly these drones in and we're gonna bomb LA and we're gonna bomb Seattle, we're gonna bomb Portland, and it's gonna be chaos, and it's exactly what we want. And so they pull it off, and it goes off without a hitch. They're all sitting in their little thing watching it unfold from the drone cameras. And the first news reports that come out are U.S. likely bombed itself to spur on the Iran war. It's like, what the fuck? But anyway, I don't know what's going to happen with this conflict. I know that the Orange Man said that it's going to be quick. It's going to be over. Then he said it's going to take a little longer. And now they're saying they don't know how long it's going to take to take the Iranian regime that they wanted to replace and they're going to end up replacing it with another Iranian regime that probably they're going to want to replace. So I think we're in for the long haul. I see Trump spouting off stuff that rising gas prices is good for the United States because we produce a lot of oil, and higher oil prices make us money. That doesn't make me fucking money, I'll tell you that. Hunter says, yeah, I think the president says something like, I don't care, make it happen. Then he didn't tell them to do it. It's a mess. Like, what's the end goal here? I see that they both, like, Iran said, yeah, no fucking way to any of their demands for peace negotiations. And Orange Man wants a complete and utter surrender. I don't know. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know how it plays out. All I know is they're dropping billions of dollars of bombs. They're killing a lot of fucking people that probably have no ill will against the United States, that probably don't like their government to begin with, and they're being affected by this. I don't know. It's never good. War is never good. Pip says end goal, give more money to the military industrial complex. Well, there's that. War is always a good thing for the economy. And man, if we can throw in some false flags or even get Iran to attack us, I'm sure that'll be a way to weasel in some more surveillance and some more government clampdown, some more big daddy government in your life, just in the name of safety and in the name of protecting us from terrorism. So I'm curious what's in the Epstein files. All of a sudden that fucking disappeared, didn't it? Did they start a fucking war to get people to stop talking about all the pedos in the Epstein file? Did they have Bill and Hillary testify and then start a fucking war so nobody gives a shit anymore? Or are there plenty of people out there that still give a shit about all the pedos running this country? I don't know. We will see as time goes on. Man, that GSD is good. Hunter says, this is how I want negotiating to work, though I'm conflicted. Hey, cooperate. They say no, then fuck you, and then everyone finds out. I mean, none of it ends well. None of it. Like, it's like Pandora's box. You drop a fucking bomb on Iran, then Iran's lobbing bombs at other countries in the area, strategic U.S. partners, all sorts of shit. And I don't see where it comes out to be any sort of good at all. Anyway, win, lose. There's no win in it for us. I don't know what that win looks like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around what the point is. Hunter says, heard this morning that Iran is hitting UAE more than Israel. I mean, they know what they want to take out. They're taking out refineries. Refineries are offline. Pipelines are offline. That is their biggest card they can play is fucking up the world oil situation. Why not? Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it. It came across while I was offline this week, and I haven't even looked at it. I have to look at it. It's on my list to look at this week. but I got an email from my rep over at Blockstream, and it appears that the Blockstream app and your Jade or Jade Plus is now Lightning enabled. That you can use Lightning in the Blockstream app from funds and signed with your Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus. Definitely, I need to look into it more before I can speak intelligently about it, or actually have used it and make sure. But I did see the email earlier this week, and like I said, it's on my list. So if you've used it, Hunter says Lightning. Yeah, Hunter, have you messed around with it at all? It sounds like from the Blockstream Green app or Blockstream app. I think they changed it just to Blockstream app. Lightning, Liquid, and on chain are completely interchangeable, and you can use Lightning Wallet with your Jade or Jade Plus. So yeah, awesome. If you don't know what a Jade or Jade Plus is, it's a Bitcoin hardware wallet that I've been using for probably 3-4 years, and definitely recommend it. I've sold a bunch of them. You folks have bought a ton of them. If you don't have one and you don't understand why you need one, you can reach out to me, and I will help you through beginner Bitcoin. We can just have a chat and see what you're trying to achieve, and go from there. But Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus are definitely a fantastic product, and adding Lightning, always developing, being on the cutting edge of security. That hardware wallet prevents your Bitcoin from being stolen if used properly, and Bitcoin best practices followed. You're going to be nice and safe and secure using that hardware wallet. So I will dig in this week to the Lightning functionality on the Jade and Jade Plus through the Blockstream app, and give you guys hopefully a full report next week on the show, or over in the Telegram group. So other than that, guys, one other thing I have on the list here is we have a few dog leashes for sale. Actually, we have as many as you want. If you want to order one, we are going to end up taking orders. But currently, Corey is making paracord dog leashes. When we have the boys here, Walter, this started way back when Walter was still around. Walter, Norman, and Clyde are big dogs. We went through a bunch of leashes. We had some we liked. We had some that were kind of shitty. And Corey decided that she was going to make her own. And so for the last 3 or so years, we've been using homemade paracord dog leashes that she put together. They are fantastic. We love them. They've held up extremely well. They're heavy duty. The clasp we use are a heavy duty aluminum, high grade aluminum that's good up to 1,100 pound static pull, and they've held up really well. Their locking mechanism. Corey added in a couple of other features that we wanted. The ones that we have for sale basically have 2 handles. They have the end handle like a normal leash. You got the clip on one end and a loop on the other end. But she's also added a control handle, which is down by the leash, only a few inches up from the clasp. So when you need to have some closer control of that big dog, you can grab that lower handle and be right there on your hip. She currently has 3 made that are available. There's a red with black reflective. We're getting our paracord from Atwood Rope. We have a reflective black that we've made with the dual color of the leashes. We have a red and black reflective, a blue and a black reflective, and then a complete solid a black reflective. Those are the 3 we have available. And then anything really from Atwood Rope in their 550 cord color range we can do. We'll be taking orders, and depending on if we have cord in stock of the color you want, or if we have to order it, will depend on lead times. But selling them for $75 plus shipping. It's over 100 feet of super high quality paracord and high quality latch, and it's made well, and it's going to last you years. Tested through us inadvertently. We made our own, and they've lasted so well. And Corey thought she'd make up some more and sell them. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me at info@thelotsproject.com or get a hold of me anywhere you want. Hunter says lead times. Right? Yeah, lead times. Get a hold of me anyway. Like I said, I got those 3 available as of right now, as of this very moment, but order could come in at any time. So we'll just we'll do personal service, and you let us know what you want, and we'll give you a turnaround time, and get that out to you. So paracord leashes on sale now, made to order for you and your fur babies. So check it out. Other than that, I think we're going to wrap up, guys. It's been an hour. We're going to get out of here and get started back on a normal week. Oh God. Hunter's saving up all my jokes from the show and sharing them at the end. He said you did another one about driving a trailer and it not being your wheelhouse. Whoa, that's a stretch. That one's a stretch. But anyway, I'm gonna have a more normal week this week. Corey is back to her normal schedule, so I'm gonna get actually I'll be able to look into that lightning features of the Jade and Jade Plus, and get caught back up with the world of the internets and things going on. So I appreciate you listening. If you could head over to thelotsproject.com, click on that Amazon link. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon today, I'll earn a little affiliate commission for that. Otherwise, hit the links in the show description for comfrey-roots.com if you need any Comfrey root stock, or the Blockstream J to J Plus to pick up your Blockstream Bitcoin hardware wallets. Beyond that, guys, I hope you have an awesome week. Get everything done that's on your list, and we will circle back and catch up with you next Monday.